I hope I didn't catch you off guard. I was just recording a lecture from Tikkunei Zohar. You know, I'm doing Tikkunei Zohar almost every week for the last 2 years or more. And we teach. In the beginning, I used to do it like 1 hour. Then I realized the lectures are kind of complicated. So I start doing it between 15 to 20 minutes each lecture so people can digest one idea, one concept, because it's very intense, the amount of information there, especially when you want to translate it into English and make sure that people live with an understanding. So tonight is Rabbi Yehuda Tzvi Brandwein. You know, we can talk about him or we can study from him. Talking about him, I don't think it will be something that he would want, but at least the basic, of understanding about Rabbi Yehuda Tzvi Brandwein, we can talk about his accomplishment. And for years, I thought his accomplishment was how nice he treat people and what he did do to put people together, what we call kiruv in Hebrew. It's tremendous work. But for me personally, if we talk, because I'm the one speaking here to the camera, was the work that he did from the point of study, from the point of teaching, from the point of truly explain the Tikkunei Zohar exactly to the area where Rav Ashlag didn't have a chance to get into, because actually Rav Ashlag explained all of the concept of Tikkunei Zohar within Talmud Eser Sfirot, within another book that Rav Ashlag wrote. So it's almost like a complete extension of Rav Ashlag. To my opinion, I wasn't there, but it was a mission that Rav Ashlag asked Rav Brandwein to do. Or Rav Brandwein did it on his own. I don't know the answer to that, and nobody can tell me actually the answer for that. But one of the things, that I see, Rav Brandwein, and I follow his Torah. At first, I don't look like him clothes-wise. I mean, he's wearing a shtreimel, a black shtreimel, like a chassid. When you see a chassid, that's how Rav Brandwein used to look like. A Jewish rabbi with a black coat. The one that we like the most. I hope all of you liking them. So that's how he looked like. And with a shtreimel and everything like that. For me, we learn that we're talking about like the way we look at wisdom. To my opinion, we have to take from the person the wisdom that he had toward God, toward Hashem, toward the study of the Torah. Because there is all the personality. How the person behave with people, what did he build and all this and that. Of course, we can tell thousands of stories that he was part of the Istadrut, the union, as a rabbi there, being part of building Israel the way it is from 1948. Wonderful chesed, ishel chesed, compassion and kindness, but in the same time, making sure that things will come into publish, making sure to raise enough money to make things happen, so the Zohar will be prayed. So, when you ask for money, how can you be nice? You're tough when you ask for money. So a person has to have both sides. So you cannot just learn that Rav Brandwein was just kind and nice. Yes, we can say it forever, and there's no doubt about it. But in the same coin, you have to say, he raised enough money to make things happen. So it makes me wonder, what should we think of Rav Brandwein? Just a nice guy, just praying and waiting for the money to arrive and then build a place for others? Or a person who knows how to do both, being kind, being nice, teach some deep secret of Torah, and in the same time, capable to build something on the physical structure. That's how I look at Rav Brandwein. And I don't think it's a secret that the way I found out about Rav Brandwein was from my teacher. Most of you listen to it, know who I am. So, and I remember that I asked my teacher one time, at that time, whoever was my teacher then, those of you wonder why I'm using the word whoever was my teacher then, because I believe that in time, as those of you study Talmud or Kabbalah, you know that sometimes, the student has to no longer continue with the same teacher if it's not working. If it's not working, it's not working. You get what you get from your teacher, you move on. It doesn't mean you disrespect, but there's nothing more there for me, So that's why it used to be my teacher. And one of the things that I asked him at that time, those of you who know I'm Israeli, I'm direct, and I don't hold back. So I asked, did you ever have doubts about your teacher? And he told me, yes, it was Rosh Hashanah, I disagree with this, disagree with that, but in the end, everything went okay. And I like that story because I didn't find that Brandwein chased his student after he left Rosh Hashanah. If you draw the picture of Brandwein just mercy, then you forget about the prayer in God and just chase your student. He didn't. And that's a witness by his own student. He happened to be my teacher at that time. So what am I trying to say is let's not be busy drawing a picture of who Brandwein was. I think it would be wiser to be busy with his teaching. And his teaching are mostly, if you want to know where he's teaching, mostly in Tikkunei Zohar. That's most of his teaching. And without the help of Brandwein, to help vital transformation for Debbie and myself, to build a site of Kabbalah that's been so successful in such a short time, which is unbelievable. I'm talking about like thousands of people listen to it freely, and on top of it, so many other Kabbalistic organizations copy us. And people call me and said that you're not angry, you did this lecture and they copy you. I said, they copy me, that's when I'm doing a good job. I like to be keter. Those of you who know Kabbalah, I enjoy that. Not a problem with that, And you can say it might come from the ego, and I really don't care what you're thinking. I care about what I'm doing and if I'm helping enough people. And I think that's what is important. But if a person is always, we're going to tell a story about him, what's the benefit in the end? Then tomorrow is a new day and gone. We forget that Rabbi even left this world. But if we look at it from a point of what Torah can I study from him? And I said I just gave a lecture, very deep lecture from Tikkunei Zohar. I recommend you should listen to it. For me, that section that Brandwein fascinates me is a section he takes from the Zohar. From the Zohar that happened to be in this week. Why this week? Because we are in Passover, Chol HaMoed, and we know that Friday night is Tzvi Shel Pesach, 7th day of Pesach, when the Red Sea split. A lot of you are busy, I don't know, business, working, I don't know, you're playing some volleyball on the beach, but just to remind you, Friday night is the day that God chose to split the Red Sea. Question is, what need to be said that was not say yeah for Brandwein? So the Zohar, Brandwein take a section from the Zohar and allow me to explain it according to Brandwein. Please allow me. And be open that you may didn't get it at all if you just follow things that I used to follow before. So listen carefully. The Zohar said, Ma titzak elai. Why you yelling to me? Or why you praying to me? Because the word titzak, yelling, can be translated by unculus as praying. Tza'aka means to pray or scream. And then God said to Moses, Ma titzak elai, why are you yelling to me? Emor lebnei Israel v'isau, tell the Israelites that you should go. But of course, we need to understand what does that mean, Ma titzak elai, why yelling to me? The word to me, T-O-M-E, to me, has a meaning. To me, meaning Kudsha Barichu, Yud Kevavke, Tachigramatan. A normal level of God, a normal level of the Creator. The Zohar said, and Rabbi Brandwein explained it in such a beautiful way, based on the Zohar, that God tell Moses, listen, there is a way out of this sea to make a miracle and open, and you will not be killed by the Egyptian or the ocean, and that it's only if you tap another level above Eli. What is above Eli? Above to me, why yelling to me? It's called Atika. And the Zohar said, Be'atika talia milta. The people of Israel has to tap into a new place. What is the new place they have to tap into? Atika. Atika comes from the word la'atik, to copy. Atika is a high place. It's like keter, like crown. So God, which is the Eranpin, Yud Kevavke, Tetragrammaton, is telling Moses, for a miracle of what you want, you need to tap to Atika. How do we do that? And Rabbi Brandwein said, אבל לפעמים שצריכים להמשיך נס, מחוץ לדרך הטבע, if you want to have a miracle out of nature, how do you do that? How do you do that? Because the normal tension of a human being is to receive for oneself alone. We are selfish. And a person normally just thinking about themselves. But, tell us, Rav Brandwein, אם האדם מוכן למסור את עצמו לקדושת השם, if a person is willing to sacrifice himself, herself, themselves, for the holiness of the Creator, not sacrifice yourself for your friend, it's good, wonderful, why not? For the holiness of the Creator, because you can do a great thing, but if it's not connected to the Creator, then it's a great thing, but it's not connected. The great thing has to be connected to the Creator. We're eating matzah. Yes, I can give you all the intellectual, Kabbalistic explanation, philosophical if you want, spiritual, emotional. But the real reason, God tell you to eat matzah. You gotta remember that. I know it's not excited, it's not sexy to say though, but you eat matzah because God tell you to eat matzah. And if you eat matzah because that matzah is fresh, then you didn't eat matzah yet. You gotta eat matzah as connecting it to God. So what does that mean? When a person is willing to surrender his or her or they ego, I'm not talking about the ego we talk about, like a lot of people who go to many spiritual or cult organization, they think that surrender the ego is when you humiliate yourself or make yourself low in front of somebody else. That's what gives the power to a lot of teachers to take advantage of a student who want to lower the ego. Because then the student want the God, the teacher become the God, and, catch 22, a problem. But the real thing is to lower your ego in front of the Creator, not in front of a teacher. That's the real connection need to be. Because in life you have dictator and you have teacher. There's a big difference between dictator and a teacher. Dictator force you to agree. Teacher teach you how to connect to the Creator. And if the person is willing to surrender himself, the ego, then also God in heaven, in Atika, mevatel kol sidrei hateva. All the nature, as it says in Zohar Terumah, verse 41, all nature change for that individual. פונה לאדם הזה בעל המסירות נפש, אף על פי שאינו הגון, as the Zohar in Terumah said, even if the person don't deserve to have great life, ואינו כדאי, and he cannot handle good life, לפי הסדר קבוע צריך לחכות על בעיטה, and that person need to wait for the right time until he make his תיקון. No. When a person make מסירות נפש to God, when a person make a self-sacrifice to God, meaning, I'm doing it because I believe in you, the Creator. I'm doing it because I believe. I'm doing it because I believe. ומחיש לעצמו ישועה מבחינת החישנה. Then the person shift the gear in heaven to make things happen. But it's a question you should ask. Are we deciding what's God going to do? For that reason, the Baal Shem Tov give an answer. Hashem tzilcha al yad yaminecha. According to the Baal Shem Tov, God is like a shadow on your right side. You walk, with the reflection shadow from your body, that's God. Whatever you do, make the shadow do. Which means if you do the right thing here, the upper world will happen. Sometimes, we do different events, Happy in Me, and some of our events are successful, some of the events are not amazingly successful. And I'm asking myself sometimes, why people cannot find time to truly work on themselves? Why people don't find time to do more for their soul? I wouldn't tell you that I found the answer. And again, we live in LA. In LA, it's not polite to ask questions like this. But I feel bad for a lot of people that they don't make the effort. Like, what do you follow? If you follow something, you can follow a teaching and stay intellectual. Or you can follow a teacher and change. If you don't follow a teacher, you're not going to change. But follow a teacher, it's a very serious business. Serious business. If you didn't make another person follow your teacher, then you didn't follow a teacher yet. The way you know that you follow a teacher, somebody followed the same teacher as you because of you. That's how you know you start following a teacher. If you didn't make it happen, you didn't follow a teacher yet. I don't need to tell you about me. Some of you know me. When I had my teacher, I make about 1,000 people follow. That's follow. That's a follow. So you don't follow a teacher, you're never going to make it. You're going to be smart intellectually. Like follow a computer. You have more wisdom. Follow a book. Nice, it's good. You should do it. I believe in it. And at one point you will need a teacher. I get teacher. I get people to come and teach me so many things. I'm not embarrassed of it. Some of you even saw. You come from the backyard, you see somebody sit with me and I study with them. And he teach me a lot of things. I love it. But I see that some people will follow my teaching, but they don't follow me as a teacher. Those people never going to get it. They think they got it, but they're never going to get it. If you don't talk to the one here on the camera, happen to be me, you think you get it, but you don't. At all. Don't get it at all. And I'm really happy that 70% of the people watching are follow me as a teacher. You know, I'm not happy for the 30% who don't reach out. Say, Eliyahu, we have question. Debbie, we have question. We need to meet Eliyahu about something we study. But the 70%, beautiful. I'm just worried about that 30%. Because when they follow a teaching, they don't follow a teacher. So, I don't want to make it about me, and I think you agree that I shouldn't make it about me, but I want to make sure that we understand the true essence of Rabbi Yehuda Tzvi Brandwein, not from a story point of view, from saying those words. He take something from 2,000 years ago and he make it practical to the day-to-day life. I think that's tremendous. It's tremendous. I mean, I can tell you that this dynasty go all the way to Baal Shem Tov, Rabbi Levi Yitzchak Berdichov, Rabbi Levi Milizhensk. I can tell you that. I mean, but you just have to see his Torah and understand who he was. When you study the Torah from a person, let's say, if you like what I have to say, how can you not meet me in person? How can you not meet that teacher? Sometimes I don't get it. Like people say, oh my God, Eliyahu, that lecture was amazing. Thank you. If I would meet a teacher that teach me something, one, I will change them. I want more. I'm going to squeeze that lemon called teacher. I don't get people who don't have enough desire to study from a teacher. I don't get it. Because when you study from a teacher, the spirit of your soul and their spirit mix up. Even when you serve your teacher tea, right away, part of the secret go to you. That's why you gotta see your teacher physically, at least twice a year. That's a minimum. Twice a year, to see him physically, the face. Otherwise, you're only getting from the Ahara Merachok, light from distance. Our Brandwein is with us tonight, will be with us tomorrow. When you look at, every day you're supposed to read a section from the Torah for Chol HaMoed. What is the section of Rabbi Brandwein? Yudchet Benisan, Im Kesef Talve et Ha'ani. If you're going to borrow money for a poor person, show the kindness of Rabbi Brandwein. Im Kesef Talve et Ha'ani. That's the day that you want to die. The day that he talk about Im Kesef Talve et Ha'ani. What does that mean? And I said that if we think about Rabbi Brandwein, the caring that he has for people came from his study of the Torah. Not first he cared for people and then he studied Torah. He studied Torah so much. He studied Kabbalah so much. And that's why he cared for people. Sometimes people turn the caring for people more than the study of the Torah. And if you want to respect Rabbi Brandwein, make it the other way around. Study enough Torah with your teacher, and then you will see how much you can care for other people. Now, I will tell you another thing. For me, I didn't live at that time when Rabbi Brandwein born and died. So, I cannot tell you what happened. But one thing that I can tell you, when I was born in 66, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, the war in Israel started June 67, Six-Day War. And after that, days after the Six-Day War, Jerusalem was open. My grandfather was one of the greatest mystical chacham, wise, you can call him Kabbalist if you want. I don't know if you will agree with that. But he used to do different white magic to help people. Go with his wife, my grandmother, to be in Jerusalem for Shabbat. And you go with him, left me as a baby. My mom. And where was Rabbi Brandwein at that time? Also, he went to the first Shabbat in Jerusalem. Somehow, there is some connection, I think. To my opinion, there is something going on there. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is I believe that Rav Ashlag, Rabbi Brandwein, have a lot of influence on my life. And I believe I met my teacher only so I can meet them. I didn't study a lot of things for my teacher. I studied most of the stuff that I studied was through them. I did study for my teacher about life, business, and money. But when it's come to Kabbalah, it's mostly for Rabbi Brandwein and Rav Ashlag. Even I never met them physically. So, yes, I would like to say thank you to Rabbi Brandwein tonight for influencing me and forcing me and pushing me to go into Tikkun Zohar 3 times in a way that I can teach it. I wouldn't say that I'm there, to my opinion, yet as where I want to be, but at least I translate it into English, and one day, if somebody would like to put it all together, it will be in translation of the Tikkun Zohar into English, which I think it's a tremendous thing online. So when the day comes, I'm sure it will be some professional people who can put it together. And for that reason, I would like to thank Brandwein, and I would like to share another thing he said. Brandwein said that sometimes when you feel down and you don't feel you have enough power, you should borrow your potential self from the future into the present, and that will give you enough power to make it. And I don't know if you know, my logo is reach your potential, which I took it from Rabbi Brandwein. What does that mean, reach your potential? Your potential is already there. Reach to your potential, it's already there. And borrow the better self of who you are into the present so you can have a way better future. And I'm going to go ahead and light a candle now in the other room, but I want to wish you Chag Sameach, Chol HaMoed Sameach, and I hope to see all of you on Friday night, so we can do the Torah and the Arvit and the Seudah and the meal as well. So it should be a very, very nice Friday night and Saturday morning. All the best, and may the soul of Rabbi Yehuda Tzvi Brandwein, הקבור בהר המנוחות ירושלים, will protect all of us and make us happy and make us go deeper into Torah Kabbalah and specifically Tikkun Zohar. All the best. Thank you for listening. Thank you.